And hello there. Welcome back. We're doing some stuff.
We are doing some stuff, dude.
I've got a new person here.
It's a podcast. I'm a new person. Well, I've been on this earth for plenty of years.
Well, yeah, but I got a new person on the podcast. You're new to the earth of podcasting.
I have never been
deep.
on a. Dude, I've never been on a podcast. In fact, I actually kind of don't like I've never enjoyed podcasts until it was really recently. It was I was driving back from college, and of course, it's like a 9.5 hour drive.
Oh yeah,
so
a pretty long drive.
Oh yeah, so I started listening to Ear Biscuits.
Yeah, I love Ear Biscuits.
I mean, the more I listen
Rhett
to
and Link are great,
and like their voices are they're
good.
So,
they're nice to listen to.
Yeah, they're they're very enjoyable. A couple of guys to listen to. Like their voices, especially in a setup like this.
Yeah,
they're very, very nice.
Their personalities are just perfect for each other too.
Dude.
So they're a great duo.
Yeah, dude. Talk about going from nothing to stardom.
Gosh,
they're insane.
Geez. They're amazing.
Owning all these different companies and everything, and they can buy different companies. And
they just bought Smosh.
Yeah, which
is crazy.
I haven't looked at any of their stuff.
Yeah, the Smosh stuff hasn't changed. I think it's just for funding or whatever. There's a space where Smosh is now. So that's good.
I haven't watched Smosh since 2009.
Fair. I've only recently gotten back into them.
I never kept up with them.
Yeah. They're goofballs. Absolute goofballs.
Do you like their stuff at all?
I think it's fun. I think a lot of the writing is clever, and there's just some really funny, crazy things that they'll do. I think it's good. I think they're fun.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I think they're better than Studio C is now.
Better than Studio C?
Because Studio C, they've done a lot. And their entire cast left.
I heard about that. Yeah,
they have their own new channel now, and then their old Studio C stuff, still there. They're still posting stuff because they still, they pre-recorded a lot of stuff. But yeah, they're no longer actually going to be producing anything, and they're kind of stretching a little bit for their writing. So
yeah, well, I used to love Studio C.
I did too.
Back in 2013, 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
It was maybe last year they started to do less live stage stuff, and they started to do more a sketch stuff, where they have a single camera set up and everything. And I realized I didn't like it as much.
Yeah,
it wasn't as enjoyable. You can get the live cast feel, and I hate laugh tracks, but I realized that
that's fair.
They just weren't as funny when they weren't live and sometimes improvised.
Yeah, I agree. The live stuff is always so much more fun.
Honestly. And again, I kind of have a thing against. I don't enjoy laugh tracks.
Yeah, no,
they make me feel like they're not. I'm so triggered right now. I love that's a thing.
I know,
it's so great.
Yeah, it's super fun.
No, I always felt like I was. Insulted is a bad word, but when the writers have to rely on the laugh track,
to make someone laugh.
Right. If you were to take out the laugh track, it's not a funny show.
Not many people would be laughing.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory and stuff like that. If you ever see Last Man Standing, or really most sitcoms, if you just think about it with no laugh track, the jokes
funny.
The jokes aren't that great.
Yeah, no. They're kind of just stretching and wanting to. They're just wanting people to laugh.
Yeah,
and so they're using other people's laughs since it's contagious.
Right, and you want to laugh too. But I thought Studio C would they actually had some funny stuff.
Yeah, totally.
It wasn't. It didn't seem forced. The laughs always seemed genuine, and sometimes it would have some. Actually hilarious things where I would be personally just laughing,
laughing. Totally,
for sure. And then a couple of their things they did when they were doing the offset stuff.
Yeah,
that was okay, but I enjoy a lot of that.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, it was a little bit weird because it's not the live's place.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Those are real people laughing. As opposed, and they're laughing at legitimate jokes and well written jokes and stuff. The off, there's no laughing, and you in that case you almost miss the laugh track, which is kind of sad.
Right, which I've never been oh man, I miss
I miss having the laughing in it, because you you almost don't know where to laugh, and you don't know what's as funny, because everything is just kind of they're good jokes, but at the same time it's not the same as their live stuff. So
no, and
I don't know.
You don't get that same improvised sketch comedy kind of
totally
thing. It's much less sketch comedy and more
scripted.
Very scripted. And the production quality is fine. It's not that. It's just that it just seems a bit forced sometimes.
And I think one of the best parts about their fully live stuff was sometimes when they would mess up or realize they made a mistake with the lines or something, and their face would tell it, and that would be hysterical.
Yeah, or or someone would laugh and it would completely like break character or something like that, and it would just like increase the moment like tenfold. It was amazing.
Totally, yeah, and it was I definitely prefer their live stuff over their scripted.
They don't really doing it anymore. And all like the cast left, he said. So I haven't checked back with him in so long. I haven't seen their stuff in so long. I kind of teetered off like 6 months ago when they stopped being funny for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, that's just me though.
Yeah, I feel that though. It's rough. It's sad. All right, let's get into what we were going to talk about. You know, we're just gonna move on.
But it isn't a podcast all about rabbit trails. I mean, if you find a rabbit trail, you just follow it. Exactly.
Like Rat and Link. There you go.
So you have the iPhone XR.
Yes, I do.
And
sitting on the table.
You love it. Now you're not an Apple fanboy. I know you're not.
Correct. Yes.
You enjoy like the high quality of the Apple phone specifically.
Yes, exactly.
I'm with you. I like
quality.
I like the Windows PCs.
Yes, I
like their interface much better. But when it comes to phones, I gotta agree. Like I switched to an iPhone a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I gotta say it's pretty great.
Yeah.
I haven't had an Android though.
I have. See, I have had an Android. I had an Android.
iPhone?
I definitely prefer iPhone.
Okay.
For a number of reasons. Like the first one, it's just simpler and it's cleaner. It's a cleaner operating system than Android.
See, yeah.
Because Android has so much like customizability, I almost feel like it's too much. And for
a phone.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to deal with it as much.
Yeah. Okay.
But like I love being able to do these things with my lock screen and stuff. Come on, face. My microphone's in the way. My microphone is in the way. With the background and stuff, I love being able to just change it to whatever. And like here, yeah, you can see I love being able to change it and just like that's enough customizability to me.
Okay, I understand.
But like changing the actual operating system of the thing is more difficult for me.
Yeah, so like with Windows you can like get into like the file system and you can actually change a lot of things.
Like, I love that with computers.
Right. But with the phone you don't want all that. Like it's a little bit too much for your phone, which I understand. Like there's a reason why they have like kind of like the dumbed down versions of like the web apps. Exactly. And they have like the mobile versions, right?
Yeah.
Because people don't want to be clicking on like 10,000 little
totally
like little buttons and levels and all that stuff. They just want to have access to whatever to whatever
totally.
you're doing. So
yeah, exactly.
So on fun, I do agree. Like a stripped down version of whatever you're doing is generally a better thing.
Yeah.
Now the iPhone XR has one camera.
Yes, but one camera on the back.
Right, but the 10 and the 10S and every other 10
has two cameras.
Two cameras.
Yeah.
For depth, right?
Well, primarily kind of for depth, but at the same time, it's a telephoto.
Telephoto, right.
So like you can punch in easier.
Okay.
Which kind of, it's not what it seems because like it's using a different like, I don't know how it works. I think it's a similar sensor. I think it's a lower quality. Maybe it's a lower megapixel count.
I think it is lower quality.
Because it's punching in, and if you zoom in with this guy, it's pretty much the same quality as a telephoto photo from another phone. Yeah. I saw a test about it, like a test online. Someone tested the two, and it looks like they're the same. Like they almost look identical. I think this might be slightly lower quality, so you might be getting a little bit there, but honestly, it's not enough for me to justify paying for a more expensive phone. Yeah.
Now, but so like the 10s have like the two cameras, like the depth stuff. So they can do like this or the what do they call it? Like
the depth of field stuff.
Yeah, like the
with
depth of field
portrait mode.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But this one just uses like the facial recognition, so you can't take pictures of like objects.
Yeah.
Right. Now, is that like a huge thing?
That wasn't a deal breaker. That was not a deal breaker for me. I feel like thinking through it when I was picking a phone to upgrade to, I was like, first of all, this is cheaper. So that was the primary thing that I wanted was this is cheaper, less money. I'm a college student. Might as well go with this, And
you're going through a lot of issues with your iPhone 7, right?
I was, yeah. I tried to upgrade to a 7, and every time I tried to upgrade, it just was trash.
Yeah, the screen wasn't working. The antenna bands weren't working. That was just bad.
It was just not good. So
you purchased directly from Apple.
I went straight through Apple. I didn't pay for Apple Care, so some of you other Apple people out there might be wanting to murder me. But
in case you throw it in the toilet,
I drop it and
it shatters.
Murder it. Yeah. But honestly, I'm pretty careful with it. I didn't drop any of my other phones. Like I'm pretty safe with this. And I have this bumper case and I have a higher protective case that I'm like, those should be good enough, Yeah. So that was the primary thing was the money, and like I didn't want a second camera. I didn't need that. I realized when I was thinking through it, like I'll back up with that. I didn't take photos of objects as much as I thought I would, and I still don't. Like I don't take any photos of objects. Okay. Like the primary photos I take are more artistic, and so I just use the wide anyways, and I love that wide angle. That's one of my favorite things.
Well, what about like
Instead of-
like nature stuff, like flowers or
Yeah.
trees, something like that? Wouldn't you use?
See, with that, you just get close up, and like it focuses close. It's got a really great ability to focus. I mean, all phone cameras are able to just focus really close up, and honestly, you get a very similar image. And in that case, if I do need a telephoto for something like that, I just use this camera, the nicer camera that I actually have, a DSLR. And get like a super high quality, like good image with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, but isn't like the prospect of having like a camera in your pocket,
Yeah.
like isn't that kind of like I don't have my DSLR, obviously.
Fair,
if you're gonna shoot if you're like, hey, let me go
Mhm.
shoot portraits of somebody,
Right.
I'm gonna take my DSLR over
Yeah,
my phone any
100%.
day, obviously. But isn't like the whole thing like, oh, I don't have my DSLR, I have my phone camera, almost as good.
I think that's the main justification for like having multiple lenses on it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like, how much do I actually do that?
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I personally I'm usually living in the moment as opposed to like I just want to take photos of everything.
Well, and that's kind of
So,
good.
yeah.
'Cause, like 2019.
I would much
right?
rather, I'd much rather experience it than like take a photo and like have it not be as good. And
Like you look everywhere and everyone's using their phones
Yeah.
to capture things. I mean, like I'll be honest. Things I've like recorded like concerts, which I don't record concerts. I don't. Do that.
I recorded a little bit of
I'm
one
not that kind
concert,
of person.
but then other than that, I have never.
Right. I never ever look back at like the videos that I've made
Oh,
of
no.
like, certain things, and I feel kind of bad for it because like I take them thinking like, oh, I totally.
I'm
wanna
gonna look at
remember
this. Yeah.
You never look at
Yeah,
it. I've never
totally.
looked at like the firework videos
Nope.
from July 4th. I don't look at that stuff.
Yeah. No.
And I feel kind of bad because like I'm wasting time doing that instead of being in the moment, and I totally should just be in the moment.
Yeah.
But like if you like if you have like that camera with you, like don't you want that to be as like high quality as
Oh, of
possible?
course. Yeah.
Because if you're
Oh, for sure.
if you're trying to replicate a DSLR, which
It's
I'm gonna say
very difficult.
I don't think
nearly impossible.
I don't think a phone camera will ever become
Yeah.
the same quality as a DSLR of that day.
Even
You know?
with like software processing or anything, I don't think
I
so.
just don't think
I
so.
agree.
And
Yeah.
some people have like the lens attachments for it,
Mhm.
which you can get close. Like I think when people think DSLR, I
Yeah.
think they really mean is like, oh, I want like the blurry background. I want like the 1.4 aperture.
Totally.
And while we may have 1.4 aperture on the phone, it's not like
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's really not. Yeah. It's much more natural with a DSLR, and you can see that depth of field is just worlds better.
Yeah, and you could even have literally the same megapixels. You can have the same quality. Like Sony can make like their sensor in a phone, and it just would not be the same as buying like an A7 II.
For sure.
Like there's just no way.
There's something about that dedicated processing in a camera that just like overshadows everything else. Even with the powerful like processors in here, I don't know if the software will get as good as like a dedicated, like they developed it to generate the image, like, that kind of a thing. I don't know if they'll ever reach that.
Now, software like Apple, Apple's been in the phone. Apple's been in like the phone camera game for a long time, probably longer than most other cell phone providers. I kind of know about like Samsung. When did Samsung start doing
Samsung? They had a variable aperture lens. Like you can adjust the aperture inside the actual camera module.
I saw that. Like physically. Well, which is a bit of an issue because they have moving parts in the phone.
Yep.
But no, that I saw that. That was kind of cool, but it kind of died.
Yeah.
They
still have it in the S10, I think.
They have a physical variable.
Yeah, I think so.
Do they?
Which I don't remember, but I think they have that. They've kept that. They also have the telephoto and wide angle as well as just the normal.
I did see that.
Which is cool. Like, and I think that's only in the S10 Plus. Maybe
the S10 Plus. That one has 4 cameras. No, 3 cameras.
Yeah, 3 cameras.
3 cameras.
And then.
But did you see the one they haven't released yet? The 10 5G.
Yeah, that one has 4
cameras.
What is that 4th lens? Do we know?
So they have like the normal like everyday one. They have the wide angle. They have the telephoto. I think the last one is like a higher quality. Usually they're like a higher quality mono setting, so they can like take
so you can
like
get more depth. Okay.
Well, like either depth or like light information.
Okay.
But like
that makes sense too.
Isn't 4 cameras kind of
it's kind of a lot.
Like when does it stop? When do we not have a phone that has the entire back?
The entire back is just cameras.
Entire cameras.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of cool.
But
I'm not saying I wouldn't want it. I'm just saying I wouldn't buy it.
No, yeah. It might be too much.
Right, like when would you need that? Like this is like this is like the 6S. It's a solid camera.
Oh, totally.
But look how small it is. And you have like you have like the Samsungs. Yeah.
But
like
it's one camera.
Yeah. These Samsungs and these Pixels, which
the Pixel camera.
Now hold on.
That's
See, They still have one camera, but their software is
It's excellent.
Google software.
That's yes.
On those cameras are.
I think they spent a
amazing.
lot of time developing that software.
Oh,
Like a lot of time.
as far as software comes, Google is the king of software.
Yeah.
On really any platform.
Oh yeah.
At all.
Oh, they're yeah.
They have their software down pat.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're taking photos, you can have the same sensor.
Yeah.
But if you have worse software, it's just not going to go through.
It's
and
true.
you can actually you can take that Pocophone,
Mm-hmm.
which has a similar sensor to the Pixel,
Yeah.
and you can turn that in using software to like kind of like process it the same way, and you can have like a very high quality image. Same thing with like the OnePlus OnePlus 6T.
Yeah.
Which
that's
has a
nice,
decent camera apparently.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah. MKBHD was just doing a video on that, and like you can take that, you can download like an app, kind of like strips it from like its OnePlus software stuff. It does like the same thing that Google does, which is amazing.
Which is super cool.
Which kind of makes you wonder, like, why would a company like that not just from the beginning be like, hey Google, we can license your software and we'll pay you this, sort of like that. Like, why would they have this great sensor and then downgrade it with software?
Yeah. That's a good point. Although I do think with Google, I think they're probably keeping their software kind of themselves, like Apple does, with iOS and iMessage and that stuff. Because if Apple was willing to sell iMessage to Android users and let them download iMessage onto their phones,
I would switch.
100%.
I would switch to Android.
Oh, a lot of people would, and I think that's a big thing, is because they want to keep their brand loyalty so close. They don't want. Like, they want people coming back for iOS and for iMessage and things like that. They don't want to like pass it off. And so I think that's with Google, is like they want their camera technology to be the best all the time. And like that's a smart business move, is to, keep it to themselves and let people come to Google for that software.
Totally right. Because if there is an Android, if the Samsung 10s Plus had iMessage, I would switch.
Oh, 100%.
For sure. That is a gorgeous phone. A beautiful screen, battery life.
Best screen in the smartphone industry, arguably,
And totally.
Yeah.
And it is an amazing phone. It's a 10 out of 10 phone.
Yeah.
It's just the ecosystem of Apple. It is.
The compatibility between things and like, all of that is it's just so nice.
I don't even have a Mac.
Same.
It's just the compatibility between different iPhones.
Yeah.
If every single person had an Android in the world, everyone would be on Android, and
like
it'd be totally fine. They'd have like their own proprietary, iMessage version, all that stuff. They'd have their, which I'm sure they already do have some sort of like Android FaceTime something.
Oh, yeah. Probably. I mean, well, you can use Google for that, like Hangouts and stuff.
No one uses Google Hangouts.
Actually, I do. I have from time to time. Hangouts? Yeah, I've used it with my family primarily because my mom and dad don't have iPhones. But part of that is we use it so we can communicate that way. It's gotten better than it was. Like, it's definitely like improved in quality, and I've noticed it just over the past couple of years. Like, just one like message or a FaceTime session like a year ago was way lower quality, just like disgusting, honestly. Now it's higher quality. You can hear them clearly. You can see them clearly, even on our school Wi-Fi. It's been great. It's been very impressive. Google Hangouts.
Okay, I mean, hey, back when like Google Plus, remember Google Plus?
Oh gosh,
remember Google Plus's thing?
Man,
back in 2014, whatever.
Long time ago.
I had a Google Plus account, and so I signed up for like the Google Hang, or same time, must have been like a couple years later, signed up for like a Google Hangout stuff. And I think I made one call to my friend, and I was like, this is terrible. The interface is bad. It's glitchy. Yeah. This is just one massive glitch.
FaceTime has always been really good.
Well, yeah. I mean, and to be fair, they had years to perfect it.
Oh, true.
They've had
for sure.
FaceTime for I don't even know how long, since like probably like the iPhone like 3GS or 4.
Yeah.
Probably like that. They've had so much time to perfect it, and Google, as great as software as they are, like they just haven't had as much time.
They have a lot of other stuff they're working on.
It could be so possible that Google Hangout could be so much more better than FaceTime. Yeah. Especially if more people have Pixels. I almost want more people to have Pixels. Yeah. So that we can have like a Google Hangout interface where like it's okay to have that. Like, I don't see enough Google Pixels on the street. Like,
I don't either. I've seen one, like a Pixel 2, and it's one on campus. That's it. That's all I've seen.
I think I've seen that guy too.
Yeah.
I was in a store, and a lady asked me to take a picture of her and like this group of friends. I'm like, yeah, sure. She hands me her phone, and I'm like, I know, this is a Google Pixel. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, it's Google Pixel 3, right?
Yeah, that's the newest one.
It was the newest one, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I almost got kind of nervous. I was going to like drop it.
That was how I was with the iPad that we just saw. Scott had the iPad. The new iPad, like I was like, whoa.
Blown away.
That's cool. Like, that's amazing. Seeing everything on it, like that's just blown away by that.
I would, and we would buy that. And we're not Apple people.
Totally.
And you know why? It's
because it's really cool.
Well,
it has
really
a lot of functionality.
See, it's a tablet, which is
that's true. That's different from like a computer.
See, I think a tablet is more similar to a phone than it is a computer. A computer is like a workhorse that you do like projects on, and you can do those on an iPad.
Totally.
But you want you want more of like an iOS interface where it's a bit simpler.
Yeah.
I do wish that Apple would come out with like an iPad OS specific for iPad. I've heard so many complaints about like I want to use this as my daily driver for computer. Like I want to replace my laptop, and how cool would that be?
Oh,
to, like
that'd be
replace your laptop with like a super light, super awesome iPad.
That'd be super cool.
But you can't use it to like go edit like Premiere Pro videos. Like you can probably download some app for it.
Yeah, there was some sort of proprietary app that someone was using.
But like
it's not the same.
But the file system, even if I don't like the file system on Mac, some people do, but even if you like it, they don't have the same file system on iPad.
You're right.
So you're gonna get like this janky, like the files. I mean, the file system
it's
they
hard
have
to find
like the iOS is just a joke.
Yeah, it's trash.
You can't find files. They're in a different weird format, and it's just hard to. It's just not useful.
It's just not. Yeah, it's not like I don't know what the right word is.
it's not as compatible as you wish it was.
Yeah,
which is why I wish they come out with like an iPad OS or call it like Pad OS. Which I want to go trademark that so you can't use it.
Oh yeah, Pad OS.
Pad OS. I mean, if they did if they made some sort of Pad OS that would make the iPad more versatile to use, because it isn't. I mean, I'll admit it isn't like that weird juncture between a phone and a laptop where it's not quite a phone, it's not quite a laptop.
Totally.
So you can't justify using I'll just slap on iOS to it and call it good. I think they need to put in a little bit more work to that. They've put in plenty of work to it. It's
it's an amazing device. It's got so many features, like great, like very convenient and useful features.
Amazing. And it's light.
It's so very light. Oh my gosh.
I think it weighs like the same as an iPhone.
Yeah, and you kind of underestimate it in the photos. Like you kind of look at it, or you overestimate how heavy it is. Like you think you're gonna hold it, it's gonna feel like an old iPad. Like that they didn't improve it that much. You hold that thing, it feels like freaking nothing.
Oh, dude,
it's crazy.
I was shocked. Like, I'm not. I mean, I can usually be like, it's so light or it's so heavy. No, this was like, I held it. I'm like, feels like a toy.
Yeah,
like, it is so light. I mean,
it's crazy.
It's sturdy.
Oh yeah. Oh for sure.
It's made of like that aluminum stuff.
I mean, it's you could bend it like this. There was that whole bend gate thing.
You could.
But at the same time, like,
exists. Come on.
Yeah. But at the same time, like it's built well, and like the edges of it, it's built into a point. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't like
quality.
I didn't like that rounded look to it they had back in 2009.
Yeah,
because we don't buy Apple products, but my dad purchased the iPad before it came out. Like in commercials, like I remember he comes home with it in the box. It has like an Apple logo on it, and I barely knew what Apple was. I knew they made like an iPhone. That was about it. And so he shows this to us. He's like, guys, look what I got your mother. And I'm like, whoa, what the heck is that? He opens up. He's like, it's called an iPad. And I thought he was joking. I actually was like, oh, funny. Yeah, like, funny jokes.
Yeah.
No. And it was
that's
so
legit
cool.
what it's called.
It was so heavy. It was so heavy.
Those ones were heavy.
I remember, like, even back then, I was like, this is heavier than it maybe should be.
Yeah,
like, it was
totally
heavy. But like the new one.
Now it's like,
oh my gosh.
They weigh nothing.
It's super
beautiful.
thin.
Yeah.
Super light.
They're much more convenient, I think. I think that weight loss definitely helps. Like the overall feel of the product. I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, and you want to like put it in your backpack. You can just slip so easily in your backpack. It's like I don't even know how much it weighs, but like it's so much more convenient than having to lug around like a laptop. Even if it's a nice, powerful laptop. Even if you have like the Surface Book, like the Surface laptop, whatever it is. Yeah. Like it's still heavier, and it may be more. It may be like better for doing video editing or whatever. But if you want convenience, if you want the portability of like an iPad, that's the way to go.
Yeah, you kind of have to go with that one specifically.
Exactly.
There's not much else to
and that you're right. Yeah, that specific one. Like, I mean, I'm sure like the last generation one was fine, but like this specific one is clean,
amazing.
The bezels are thin. I mean, thin now.
I mean, thinner than they were.
We will be laughing in 3 years when they're like bezels don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But
I mean, but at the same time, like with the iPad, you kind of have to have those bezels to hold on to it. With the phones, you can kind of put it in your palm, and like, you don't necessarily need.
Yeah, I mean, at what point does like screen to body ratio? At what point does like 100% screen to body ratio? Does that become like a problem? You can't hold it.
Yeah,
you're gonna be touching the.
You're gonna be touching the screen.
Touching the sides.
Yeah,
you'll be fingerprints all over the screen, and then we're gonna have like what side screens, back screens, like the entire thing's just one piece of glass,
just one screen all around.
But like, do we really want that?
I know.
Like, people want.
When does it stop?
Like, I mean,
yeah.
I'll be honest. I'd be okay with a huge screen with a little bit of bezel. I'm okay with that. Like I don't need
with the Samsung phones, they have the giant screen, tiny little hole punch, and the tiny little bezel on the bottom. Like I'm good with that.
I'm cool with a chin and a forehead. Like I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal to me. Some people are like, oh, I gotta have like 98.6%. I'm like, no, I mean, you know, I don't like this because this is a pretty fat chin. This is, you know, it's like the iPhone 6s.
Totally.
This is a bit too much. It's still what, like 16:9 probably.
Yeah, it's still 16:9.
You know, I do like the 2x1.
Yeah,
it's a little bit better.
The one thing, with the one thing with the 2x1 is that notch. But honestly, I've kind of forgotten about it. Yeah,
see, I don't use those, so I wouldn't know. But it looks kind of ugly. I don't know.
But I mean, at the same time, my home screen, I have this wallpaper where it's black on the top, so it goes all the way up to black, and it kind of just blends into the background.
Okay, well, that's nice.
But I mean, like with an app like, you know, let's see, Instagram. Like Instagram you can very clearly see the notch. I've kind of forgotten about it. Like it's gotten to a point where it's become more of a tool on my screen. Like I have the camera on it, and that's my justification. Is like all the depth sensors and stuff. That's all there. That's why it's there.
Like a black box just for the fun of it. That
exactly.
I'd be mad.
Be a little mean. But yeah, it's honestly it's been fine. And like some people may not like it at first. I was like, it's okay at first. I was noticing it, but then you get to a point where it's honestly fine.
Interesting. Like you just pointed out Instagram, like that is a white background. And it has the black,
very much
the black notch.
Yep.
I mean, that would drive me insane. Doesn't drive you insane?
No, honestly, it's totally fine to me.
Do you kind of like zone it out, or is it more of like
it's more of zoning out?
You're okay with it.
Like I really don't notice it anymore because I'm looking at more of this section of the screen. Yeah, I'm looking at more of the lower, 7/8 of the screen as opposed to this top one. And you only look at the top one for the time and like battery, and like that's all you do. So yeah, but then you look at this and you see, the one thing here is with video. And that's what I was, if it's a full screen video, it's a little difficult to see on this one, but you can see the notch like very clearly there.
I don't know. That just might. Okay. I mean, for video, it might. I mean, I understand like if it's up there and you're like doing something on your phone, like you're typing like a message. Yeah. It probably wouldn't bother you, but
one place that you really see it is with backgrounds that are more white. This one's pretty easy to see. Yeah. You can pretty clearly see that notch there.
See, yeah. I mean. And let's just be honest. I mean, we're like spoiled children, like whining. Oh no, the notch is so bad. I mean, let's be honest. Like we're so like lucky to have like that nice like huge screen that goes like all the way to the edges.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I mean, they have to compromise somehow. I think Samsung's doing a much better job. I like that floating that floating camera thing. That is a lot nicer.
I feel like it's better implementation. And then this one you can't really. It's harder to hide this notch with the Samsung phones, it's so small that you can do anything.
And have you been seeing like the wallpapers?
Yes, I love them.
That is my favorite.
It's so great that they're doing that.
Like, and they're embracing it. They're not whining about it. Like, they are embracing it wholeheartedly, and they have some incredibly
super clever. Yeah,
I mean, like props to them for not whining about it. Just be like, oh, this is kind of weird, but look what we can do to it.
Totally. Yeah,
they're taking it on full strong. It is amazing. Almost makes me want to go get one of those just so I can have a cool wallpaper.
Totally.
And see what I can do with it.
That's a big thing. And that wasn't even like a Samsung made thing. That was all fan stuff, Yeah. Which is crazy because then you start to want it more, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. And Samsung tried to kind of like block it out, like in the in all like the presentations, like his dark wallpapers and everything. Yeah. But all the fans are like, no, we don't want like a dark wallpaper. We want one that kind of like almost showcases it, like almost will draw your attention towards it.
And we'll kind of joke about it at the same time, and like that's why we love the phone. Is like we can do this thing. It's great.
I mean, it's fun. Aren't you like a true Samsung fan?
If you're making fun of your own company,
like, I mean, that
and
is
like
amazing.
We make fun of Apple all the time, and like I'm a fan of Apple phones. I still make fun of Apple's phones like all the time.
Well, everyone? Makes, even let's be fair. Even Apple fanboys would make fun of Apple.
Exactly.
Everything.
Exactly. Brand loyalty. Woo.
I'm not really loyal to any brands. Like
fair.
The only reason, I mean, I'm not even loyal to iPhones. It's like I said, it's just because of the the whole ecosystem thing. Yeah. I'm loyal to the ecosystem. If the ecosystem suddenly traded to Google Pixels or Samsungs or Poco phones, I'd probably
go there.
I'd be like, okay, I'm going wherever everyone else is going.
Yeah. No other phone company has really built that ecosystem into their products as much as well as Apple, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Google tried it, Samsung tried it, but
my battery's dying. Pause for a moment while we fix the battery. Okay, so
sorry.
we're back
Anyway.
after our freaking interns.
Hi, interns. We should hire some interns just for the kicks of it.
I'd be down.
Just hire them for like 50 cents an hour. And just be like, hey, we just
I don't even have that kind of money. That's so sad.
So sorry. So we actually can't pay you the 50 cents
Yeah,
an
we
hour.
don't have
It's
anything.
a bit too steep. We'll have to dock your pay like 45 cents.
5 cents? Do I even have that much? Gosh.
A nickel an hour.
Might be a little too much.
You're totally right. You have to pay us to work for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you please pay us for your time?
Oh, goodness. All right, so let's get back into it.
Brand
loyalty. That's where we were.
We're discussing. So the iPhone has probably one of the highest like.
Wow, camera.
Hold on. It's okay. You need to tighten it.
I know I think it's tightened all the way. That's what's up.
You sure? Okay.
This is fine.
I believe you.
Okay. Anyways,
Um.
our interns are struggling today.
All right.
I'm an unpaid intern of my own channel.
I am also actually I'm getting paid for this, right? I mean, all that sweet YouTube money that you're getting.
Oh yeah.
All that amazing.
I will pay you every bit that I get for this video.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
All that delicious, amazing, 500 negative dollars.
I don't get any revenue. You should all subscribe so that I can get revenue and pay
You
Ben.
get 1,000. Hey, if not for him, do it for me.
Yeah, do it for
so
him.
that I can get paid.
Because clearly no one's going to do it for me.
They'll do it for me.
That's so sad. Okay.
Apple has one of the highest brand loyalty there is.
Yeah.
Across all their products, not just
for sure.
not just iPhones. Which is strange because I would buy an iPhone. I'm not loyal to them, but like I said, I am loyal to the ecosystem. I'm very loyal to the iMessage, FaceTime, all that stuff, and AirDrop. It's so
Agreed.
seamless. It's so nice, and that's what we want. We want like that coexistence between products.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
if or until like different phone companies or different computer companies or anything can achieve that amount, they can't be a direct competitor to Apple because they just can't be on that level as hard as that is for me to say because I don't like Apple. I think they're so absorbed into that ecosystem, like they're a bit power hungry in a sense,
and they don't want to experiment with new things.
they really don't.
And like Samsung and OnePlus and all these other companies, they're experimenting.
For
they're
sure.
doing great things.
Yes. And they fail and they get back up and they make something better.
Totally.
Like the Note 7.
Yeah,
which
with the battery
exploded.
the battery stuff.
That was a fail.
Yeah.
was a
So they
great
changed it and they're making better batteries.
And they kind of oh, sorry, we screwed up. Let's just keep on moving. And now they have like probably the best phone this year.
Yeah.
I would be challenged to see if the new iPhone could beat that.
Yeah.
Beat that phone. That is a amazing phone.
It's incredible. Yeah. I don't think they will. Honestly.
Honestly,
there's a lot of reasons why,
they have a lot to beat, and I don't think they can do it.
They've set the bar really high, and it's going to be really hard to meet
early in the year too. February.
Yeah.
They said that, or March, February.
February.
Yeah.
Something like
Something like that. Whatever.
But sometime in the past,
they set the bar so high.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly, I'm also kind of worried. Like, maybe like next year, could Samsung make a better phone than this one?
I know. Yeah. How are they going to improve too?
Usually they just improve their software and call it a new phone. But no. Like, you got to improve. Now you got this whole floating camera thing.
Yep.
Maybe next year will finally be
under the
screen camera,
which would be so cool.
I am waiting for that.
And with the thumbprint reader being under the display now, that's just become about in the past 8 months.
Oh yeah,
not even 6 months.
The OnePlus 6T was one of the first.
Yeah.
Was one of the first under screen fingerprint readers. But that was still with the high intensity light thing.
Yep.
And now we just have the Sonic thing, which is so
which
much
is
more
so
efficient.
cool.
It's faster and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that improvement was made in 8 months.
Super
10 months.
recently.
It didn't take 6 years for them to develop that really awesome Sonic.
I felt like it was in prototype stages, just a few weeks ago almost. That's what I felt like. It just feels like it's just come so quickly.
Oh yeah.
And now it's part of our phones. It's implemented in the phones, which is crazy.
I really need Apple to step up the game and implement the Sonic fingerprint reader. Come on. I mean,
yeah.
I read all the leaks way back with the iPhone 10, which was the same release as the iPhone 8.
8, yeah.
8. There we go.
Yeah.
I saw the leaks and all the stuff. They're taking away the home button. It'll all be like
Yeah.
facial recognition. I'm like, well,
You're like, whoa.
okay, like what if we don't want that? So I was hoping they would bring the fingerprint reader to the back. Even cooler if they could implement the fingerprint reader onto the Apple logo.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
That would be super cool. Like it's right there.
It's so perfect.
And it would draw more attention to it. It'd be
look
fun.
how perfect that it just goes right to the Apple logo.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Do what the Pickle's doing. You know, put it in the back. Or do what every phone's company's doing. Put it on the back.
I heard you say, do what the Pickle is doing. I was like, wait, that's not what the phone is.
Do it like
someone
the Pickle.
please make a phone that's called the Pickle phone.
I would buy
That'd
it.
be so funny.
I would buy it.
Honestly, like just
Pickle phone?
yeah, make the entire color scheme green and like roll with it. You know, roll with it.
Covered in like those little dimples. So gross.
It's a grippy phone because you've got all these dimples on it.
That would be a grippy phone. I would enjoy that. I would buy it.
That'd be amazing.
What
are we talking about?
the
fingerprint scanner.
Fingerprint scanner.
Yeah.
Like, why has Apple not stepped? Like, I
know
since they lost, because Touch ID 2, or was it Touch ID 2? Was that it?
Yeah, I guess the Gen 2.
The second gen or whatever.
Yeah.
That was so fast.
Oh, so much faster.
It was, I think, the fastest on the market or as far as fingerprint readers. And I remember it was before the iPhone 10 when everyone had fingerprint readers.
Yeah.
There's this huge like who can have the fastest fingerprint reader?
That was
is
a
it
big thing.
Samsung is going to be like OnePlus? Like who's going to have
OnePlus
the
like
fastest?
rocked that.
OnePlus.
Yeah.
OnePlus is a very underrated.
I know. Yeah.
Very
Seriously.
underrated brand. They have some excellent
brand.
hardware, software.
Yeah.
They're doing something really
They're
great.
doing something right.
Something great.
They're doing good.
Yeah. And of course, next year they'll have to implement the Sonic.
Oh, for sure. They'll have
reader.
to. Yeah.
And now that we don't need like that physical button in the back that would act as like the fingerprint reader.
Yeah.
And some people have like the power button fingerprint reader and everything.
Which I think is all right. I think it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Like, well, actually, I mean, I'm okay with the like the power button fingerprint reader. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal to me.
The S10e has that.
Or does it?
Yeah, that's the response to the R.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Samsung.
I mean, no, that is a direct competitor to the
R.
R.
For sure. Price wise, everything.
It's still pretty, but it has the same. It has like the same bezels.
Yeah, it does.
Thicker bezel. I don't know.
But I think it's because of the way they were implementing a different screen. I mean, it's a similar screen, but they were also like they're just trying to cut budget, which is what the R did as well, taking out a camera, taking off some whatever random things. Same processing and everything, just LCD screen and one camera. Honestly, I'm good with that.
You're good
with the E, like that's fine. Like those are things that we're happy to pay less money for.
Well, yeah, and we'll see. That's funny. Less money, like they're still $700.
Yeah, that's true. Like this is still an $800 phone.
Flagships used to be $750.
Yeah,
and
now they're $1,200. So it's like, whew.
Phones are now $1,000. Like that is standard. Like it's starting at like $980.
It's becoming more appealing to just wait and wait for the prices to get cut after the next gen comes out and they get it then because it's just cheaper.
But to me, I'm not interested in a phone if it's going to cost $1,000.
I know. Yeah.
I could maybe justify it $700. I could justify it $600, and $500 or $500 and less. I will consider getting them. I just can't justify a $1,200 phone.
Yeah.
As much as I would want, like the 10s Plus or 10s Max or 10s Plus.
10s Max.
10s Max.
Yeah.
Wait. Or 10. Yeah.
Yep.
10s Max. I can't keep.
I know, yeah.
The 10SE and the whatever.
Yeah. This is the 10SE. That's not one. 10R, 10S, and then 10S Max.
No, the Samsung one.
Oh, Samsung is the S10.
S10.
There's
S10
so many weird
10
names.
SE. Come on, you can't.
I know.
It's
fine.
Everything's.
Because I thought it was 10S, and then, it's so confusing.
Hey, at least I don't name them like they do headphones.
Oh, I hate that.
The Sony headphones are like the the WQR10R plus.
What are these ones?
WZ.
These are Sennheiser HD 579s.
Okay, but could you come up with
wow?
Could you come up with a worse name? Like
I know
when you hit like 6 or 7 characters,
it's just too much.
Take it down.
Yeah. Because then, when you're talking about them, it's just a bunch of numbers. No one knows what you're talking about.
Oh, what kind of phone is that? Oh, it's like the 10S QR679. Oh, kind of. Oh, the 10RX7Q9.
They all become the same thing at that point.
Like I literally just confused the 10S Max with the S10 Plus. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, and I never get those confused. But I just did because
they're so similar. Yeah. At this point, it's like they're in the same generation, and it's just gonna get worse.
They're direct competitors.
Oh yeah.
They are responding to Apple's tenor.
Samsung has poked fun at Apple all the time. And Google's done that a lot.
Which I like. I think it's fine.
I think it's kind of fun.
I think competition's great because we win.
Yeah, exactly. We win no matter what.
The consumer wins when there's competition. I love capitalism.
Capitalism,
it's a
yes.
beautiful thing. Which and you know, I want those companies to compete to have like the best fingerprint reader.
Yes.
I want companies to be like, oh, who can have the best sonic underscreen fingerprint reader?
I
who
agree.
can be the first to have the underscreen camera? You know.
Yeah.
I want that to happen because we get the best product.
Yeah, we get the best no matter what happens.
Exactly. I want them to make sure that like, oh, like we want to have the best one. I'm like, I want y'all to have the best one. Because
I want the best one.
I want you to make the best one so I can have the best one.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
No,
it's phenomenal.
Yeah. And you know, I hope it's only a matter of time until Apple develops the underscreen fingerprint reader.
I think they'll hopefully implement it maybe in the next couple of years. It took them a while for wireless charging.
I don't think it'll be this year.
I don't think so either.
Probably next year.
I think you're right.
Because, I mean, let's give it to Apple. They do want to do it right. They want to do it right the first time. And they never apologize for anything.
Right. Yeah.
Like, they apologize for like,
a little bit of a
battery
weakness.
thing. Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They apologize for the battery thing. They apologized for, like, that antenna gate thing that happened 3 years ago.
Right.
But, like, they never apologized for a design function. They're like, oh. Like,
with the 10, like, they were unapologetic about having that notch there.
Oh.
They were they were like, this is how it is now.
They were like, we don't care. Like, you can embrace it. You know how, like, this is how it is.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that their arrogance will dip down to where they could justify putting in the fingerprint sensor. Because if they didn't do it back in the 10, they're not going to do it until they completely transform.
Oh yeah, no.
Like they want people to think that they're doing everything right all the time.
Totally.
Which they're not. They're a company. They're going to make mistakes.
Yeah,
you know?
Everyone's going to make mistakes.
Exactly.
Always.
Samsung made mistakes. They come back from the mistakes, and now they have an incredible phone.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's the gist of it. There you go, folks.
That is about That's
us talking technology.
Yeah, but that is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, we could get into this.
We could
hours, days, years.
Tech is a very broad subject.
Yes, you can do a lot of things with it. So hopefully you people enjoyed it. If you did, the likes and stuff, all that stuff.
Like, comment, subscribe, so I can get paid.
Yes. So subscribe to me so that I can get revenue so that Ben can get paid.
Yes. Subscribe directly to him so that I can get paid.
Indirectly, you'll be supporting him.
Support me. Support Knarfy.
You guys are great. We will see you in the next video, whenever that may be.
Have an excellent day.
Bye-bye.